Hi, my name is Les Guzman, and today I'll be doing my final speech. Now, as a kid, I went through a lot of bullying from school, and in dance practice as well, it was pretty bad. Not a lot of attention was really paid into until things got so bad where I couldn't hide it anymore. And it's that sort of bullying that you see on TV and on movies. And although as time went by, everything was stopping slowly, I was still left with spicy memories, or how people know it more as PTSD. And a personality disorder was found called borderline personality disorder. I will be calling it BPD for short. Going through the healing process alone is not easy, especially when you're living with BPD. It was difficult and honestly very dangerous to me. So I needed to make sure I wasn't by myself or somehow made it worse by ruminating over all of these things. And thankfully, the friends that I have today helped me by showing the compassion I felt like I lacked, and they were there to help, guide, and defend me when when it was needed. Now, demonstrating the kindness and compassion to victims of bullying and trauma can boost self-worth and confidence, allowing them to grow. It can also help to understand the bullies so that the victims may better able to deal with the situation as well. Now, there's three examples I want to get into. The first is the 2012 film, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This movie follows a young boy named Charlie who just started high school and counts the days until he graduates and intends to just keep his head down low. He had recently lost his only best friend to suicide, and during a childhood trauma that stuck with him was when his favorite aunt died in a car accident. He met these two misfits that became his best friends and his true love. The first was Patrick, and the second was the beautiful Sam. They reached out to him and showed him the love that he didn't think that he deserved. Um, He also had met a teacher named Mr. Anderson on the first day of school that had became a good friend to him as well, and offered a sort of guide to Charlie throughout the freshman year. He gave him advice that helped him reflect on his life and lives and the lives of other people. And with his most famous quote, "We accept the love that we think we deserve," had helped him sort of understand why people do the things that they do, why they stay with the people that they stay with, and why he does the things that he does as well. Now, I just want to give you a little question to think about. So, what kind of love do you deserve? What kind of love do I deserve? It's a little something to think about. Well, the love that we think we deserve can change when we are with the people who impact our life both negatively and positively. To surround ourselves with people who show us the compassion can boost our own self-worth and better take care of ourselves. Heck, it can even make us better and kinder people. The second example I want to go into is Zootopia. In 2016, there was a small scene in this movie, although it wasn't very impactful as the other messages that this film contained. It was truly impactful to the character development between Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. Nick Wilde has shared a story of when he was a little pup and he was bullied into a muzzle for joining a small scout group that was mainly dominated by prey. In the end, he was abused and he was kicked off and put into a muzzle. And this traumatic event taught him two lessons. The first was to never let people see that they got to him. And the second was that if everyone was going to see him as untrustworthy and as shifty, why bother trying to prove them wrong? Well, too many people, including myself, have thought this way, but our mindsets don't always have to be locked in that idea. If we allow ourselves to open up to people that we trust, just like how Nick did with Judy, we could possibly earn ourselves the ability to gain that self-confidence and to show other people, hey, I fell down, but I came back stronger, and ultimately proving to so many people that they can go above and beyond their expectations. Now, the third and last example I want to go into is in everyone's favorite fandom, Harry Potter. I'll be using the films for reference, just to let you know. Harry Potter has so many examples showing what compassion can do to people. Harry had faced so many people who bully, push him around, and almost kill him, and as scary as it was, he still found himself to endure all of it. He started off keeping his head down low, just like how Chris did, and once his friends helped and stood up for him, he became so much more confident, and he knew that he had the support and love from his friends, who considered as family, and even showed that same compassion towards other people who bullied him, like Severus Snape and Draco Malfoy. Now, Snape had always been really hard on Harry, but when Harry learned that his own father bullied and knocked Severus Snape down, we see why he despises Harry, but we also see why he protects Harry, due to the love that he still has for Harry's mother. Now, we as viewers first saw Snape as someone very cruel who just wanted to ruin Harry's reputation or make his life miserable in Hogwarts. But both we as an audience and Harry were able to understand why Snape was the way he was and learn that not everything was as bad as we or he thought it was. And I also want to get into Malfoy. He had teased, bullied, and pushed Harry and his friends down day after day, and it wasn't until we saw his father that that we saw how and why Malfoy was the way that he was. He was taught to be cruel, to always be against Harry Potter, and to support Lord Voldemort. We know that Draco is a little bit scared of Harry, but is taught through all of this strict and abusive teaching to be tough, even if it's for show. In the beginning, we just assumed that he was just an a-hole of a kid, but learned that he inherited all of his bigotry and character from his own father. And after Draco has been saved by Harry, we were able to see that in the future, Harry has earned the respect from Draco. Now, towards our own bullies, we can take a look into our bullies' lives and understand their own inner turmoils. We can better deal with them, with them, and if possible, give them a chance to change. Bullying is never and should never be accepted. But we should take the time to learn and remind ourselves that bullies are not evil. They too just need help. Now, we just went over how compassion can rehabilitate self-worth and the perks of being a wallflower, how it can help create a confidence and motivation to go beyond the expectations of people in the film Zootopia, and how learning about our bullies and showing compassion towards them can not only help you better deal with the situation between them and healing, but also could quite possibly stop and allow your bully to get a chance to get help, or merely just confuse them into stopping. Now, my name is Alexis Guzman. I want to thank you for listening, and this was The Power of Compassion. Thank you very much.